We make decisions every day. Some are small, like what to eat for breakfast. Others are big, like choosing a career path. These choices shape our lives. Understanding how we make decisions can help us make better ones. This can lead to greater happiness and success. In our personal lives, good decisions improve relationships. In our professional lives, they lead to better outcomes. Cognitive biases are mental shortcuts that our brains use to process information more efficiently. These shortcuts can be helpful in making quick decisions, but they can also lead to systematic errors in our thinking. They are thinking patterns that can lead to flawed decisions, often without us even realizing it. These biases can affect our judgments, perceptions, and behaviors in subtle yet significant ways. These biases often operate unconsciously, making us unaware of their influence. They can shape our decisions in ways that are not always rational or in our best interest. One example is confirmation bias, which is the tendency to search for, interpret, and remember information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. This is the tendency to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs, while disregarding or minimizing information that contradicts them. Imagine you want to buy a new car. You have done some research and have your eye on a specific model that you believe is the best choice for you. You have your eye on a specific model and you start looking for reviews and opinions about it. You might be more likely to read positive reviews of that car, feeling reassured by the affirming information that aligns with your initial preference. You may even ignore negative ones, dismissing them as outliers or irrelevant, thus reinforcing your original decision. Another common bias is anchoring, which is the tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive when making decisions. This is the tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive, using it as a reference point for all subsequent judgments. For instance, if you're negotiating a salary, the first number mentioned can anchor your expectations, influencing the final outcome of the negotiation. This is true even if that number is not realistic. The initial figure can set a mental benchmark that skews your perception of what is reasonable. The availability heuristic is another bias to consider. This bias occurs when we judge the likelihood of events based on how easily examples come to mind. We tend to judge the likelihood of events based on how easily we can recall examples, often influenced by recent experiences or media coverage. If we see several news stories about car accidents, we might overestimate the risk of driving, believing it to be more common than it actually is. Understanding these cognitive biases can help us recognize when our thinking might be skewed. By being aware of these mental shortcuts, we can strive to make more rational and informed decisions. So next time you find yourself making a decision, take a moment to consider whether any cognitive biases might be at play. Awareness is the first step towards better decision-making. Emotions play a significant role in decision-making. Even when we try to be rational, our feelings can sway us. This is evident in the affect heuristic. This is where our emotional response to something influences our assessment of its risks and benefits. For example, if we feel fear, we might overestimate the likelihood of a negative outcome. Imagine you are offered a job in a new city. Excitement about the opportunity might lead you to downplay the challenges of moving. Our social environment also shapes our decisions. The people we surround ourselves with, the communities we are part of, and the social norms we adhere to all play a significant role in how we think and act. We are influenced by the people around us, especially those we trust or admire. Their opinions, behaviors, and attitudes can subtly or overtly guide our own choices and actions. This can be seen in groupthink, where the desire for harmony in a group can lead to poor decisions. When everyone in a group wants to avoid conflict, they might agree on a decision without critically evaluating it. For example, a team at work might go along with a bad idea. They might do this to avoid conflict, even if they have reservations. The fear of standing out or being the dissenting voice can be powerful. They might do this to avoid conflict, even if they have reservations. This can lead to a lack of innovation and poor outcomes, as critical voices are silenced. Social comparison also plays a role. We constantly compare ourselves to others, whether consciously or unconsciously. This comparison can influence our self-esteem and our decisions. We constantly compare ourselves to others. This can drive us to make choices that align with what we perceive as the norm or what is valued by our peers. This can influence our choices as we strive to fit in or get ahead, whether it's adopting certain behaviors, purchasing specific items, or pursuing particular goals. The desire to be accepted and respected by our social group can be a powerful motivator. Section 5. Decision-making models. Several models explain how we make decisions. Rational decision-making involves carefully considering all available information. We then weigh the pros and cons of each option. However, in reality, we rarely have perfect information. This is where bounded rationality comes in. This model recognizes that our cognitive abilities are limited. We often make decisions based on simplified representations of complex problems. Intuitive decision-making relies on gut feelings and experience. This can be effective in situations where we lack the time or information for a more analytical approach. Section 6. Strategies for better decisions. In this section, we will explore various methods and techniques that can significantly enhance the quality of our decisions. While we may not always be able to eliminate biases, we can certainly improve our decision-making processes. Critical thinking is crucial in this endeavor. It allows us to approach problems and decisions with a clear, rational mindset. This involves questioning assumptions, seeking evidence, and considering alternative perspectives. By challenging our initial thoughts and looking for supporting data, we can make more informed decisions. Actively seeking diverse perspectives can help us overcome our own limited viewpoint. Engaging with people from different backgrounds and experiences can provide new insights and ideas that we might not have considered. This can be as simple as asking for feedback from others or considering different sources of information. By doing so, we open ourselves up to a broader range of knowledge and viewpoints. Structured techniques such as decision matrices or cost-benefit analyses can provide a framework for complex decisions. These tools help us break down the decision-making process into manageable parts. These tools help us organize information and evaluate options systematically. By laying out all the factors and potential outcomes, we can make more balanced and objective decisions. Finally, post-decision reflection is essential. Taking the time to reflect on the decisions we have made allows us to understand what worked and what didn't. Taking time to review our decisions and their outcomes can help us learn from our mistakes and make better choices in the future. By analyzing past decisions, we can identify patterns and areas for improvement, ultimately leading to more effective decision-making over time. Section 7. Key takeaways. Our decisions shape our lives. By understanding the psychology of decision-making, we can make more informed choices. Cognitive biases, emotions, and social influences all play a role. By being aware of these factors, we can mitigate their negative impact. Utilizing strategies like critical thinking, seeking diverse perspectives, and structured decision-making techniques can further enhance our decision-making ability. Section 8. Conclusion. In conclusion, decision-making is a complex process influenced by numerous factors. By understanding these factors and adopting effective strategies, we can make better choices in all aspects of our lives. I encourage you to reflect on your own decision-making processes. Identify any biases or patterns that may be hindering your judgment. By continuously learning and improving, we can unlock the secrets of decision-making psychology and lead more fulfilling lives.